Welcome to True Crime with Strategic Eyes.
What's going on, people? I was going to take today off from making videos. I actually just got in the house. A little bit fatigued because of the schedule I've been working. But I decided to come online because we had a tragedy today in America. Another solemn day of loss, unfortunately, with another school shooting. I really hope that we can take the time to come together in these moments and to kind of figure out how we can stop the loss of life. And it's like a running theme on my show where we just kind of figure out, how do we protect these children? Because it just seems like in this day and age, more and more and more, the people who are being victimized are the kids. And, you know, most of the time it's the adults. And in this situation, it ended up being another child. So there's rumors going around with pictures of the child. I'm not posting it right now because I do not have definitive proof that the individuals that are being identified are in fact the child. And I think something ugly is happening on these YouTube streets and on Twitter, where children who have a similar name to the suspect are being identified as the shooter, and they're not. These are good kids. Some of them are football players, baseball players, high school baseball players, high school football players, straight A students. And just because they share a name, people just grabbing their pictures off the internet and saying, hey, look, this is the school shooter in Georgia. And that's just irresponsible, and it's unfortunate. Once again, we have to protect the kids. We have to protect the kids. I want to give you guys a few points of what we know so far, so you guys are up to speed. And of course, everything here is subject to change because this is breaking news, and we're all just learning things pretty much at the same time. So 2 students and 2 teachers were killed for a total of 4 people, unfortunately, 4 lost souls who died for absolutely no reason. The shooting happened at the Apalachee High School in Winder, Georgia. If I say it incorrectly, I apologize. I'm not from the area. 9 people were injured. I'm not sure what is the nature of those injuries, if they're serious injuries or not, but 9 people were injured by the shooter. I'm not sure if all those injuries were actually as a result of the actual shooting. Sometimes people who are injured in the act of the shooting, like maybe they're running away and they fall down the stairs and they sprain an ankle or break a bone, that is considered among the injured. So all 9 may not have been shot. All 9 may have been shot. I don't know that yet. We'll get you that information as soon as we can. The suspect is a 14-year-old student at Apalachee. He was questioned last year by law enforcement because an anonymous tip said that he was going to shoot up a school. So he has been on the radar of law enforcement. They questioned him and he basically denied, saying, I never said that. I would never do that. And I guess they either allowed him to go about his business or they closed the case. I get it. I know a lot of people will be upset about that. Like, hey, we knew who this kid was. Why didn't we do something? People make threats all the time. If you don't have definitive proof, there's not much you can do. And even if they did find proof, the most they could have done is probably force this kid to get some type of mental health counseling or something to that effect. Maybe monitor him a little bit more. But the fact that he was questioned by law enforcement means that he's going to go underground. Whatever he was doing, he's going to stop doing, but he may not stop feeling the way he was feeling to say that he wanted to do those things, if that makes any sense to you guys. Until somebody does something violent that endangers people, it's very hard to do anything to them that might be meaningful. All right. The high school received phone calls that a shooting was going to occur. They basically said 5 schools were going to be shot up, and Apalachee would be one of those schools. So I think he might have made that call, or an anonymous person who was maybe in his Discord or his WhatsApp, because these folks usually have these kind of forums where they vent how they feel. Either he made the call or somebody else made the call and tried to give a warning. I just don't know what the security protocol was at that school at the time. If you're getting all of these threats and you have a student that you identified as being high risk and possibly dangerous, there should be a heightened level of security protocol to make sure that nothing does happen. I don't know what happened, so I can't assign any blame. Unfortunately, in 2024, this is the 45th school shooting. All right. I'm not telling these things to take any type of political position. You guys don't know what my politics are. I'm just telling you these things because they are the facts as we know them right now. So guys, make sure that I know this is back to school for a lot of us. This is back to school for almost every kid in America at varying different dates. Some places start a little bit earlier. They may have started school in August, but this is the first few weeks and days for some of us of school for our children. Please make sure that you are loving your children. You always let your children know that you love them. Make sure that you plan with them. You tell them what you want them to do in these type of emergencies. Hide under desks, barricade yourself in rooms. Wait for law enforcement. If you're not sure that it's law enforcement at the door, ask them to slide their IDs underneath the door. That's okay to say that. Just because somebody says, we're the police, open up the door, doesn't mean you have to open up the door in a mass shooting situation. Make sure that you know that it's law enforcement that you open up the door to, because it might be the shooter pretending to be law enforcement. For all my law enforcement officers out there, they did an amazing job. The school resource officers were able to engage this kid and take him alive. As soon as they showed him that they meant business and they were willing to kill him, he surrendered and he was taken into custody. Word is he's already been identified as being charged as an adult. So he will be charged as an adult. But to all my law enforcement officers, not these law enforcement officers, because they did their thing and they're heroes. But I always think about Uvalde, which is probably going to go down in history as the biggest blunder in law enforcement response to a mass shooter. And that is why so many people who were in charge have been criminally charged. Remember that when you put that uniform on, you have made an oath to put the citizens before you. I know people say, oh, the Supreme Court said that there's no duty for police to help you. But that's not why we put the uniform on. We put the uniform on because we want to help. So always remember, in a mass shooting situation, you follow your training. You go in there and you neutralize the threat. You don't worry about if you left your bulletproof vest. You better have your vest on you, but remember, don't worry about if there's backup coming. All right, let me stop it. You always have your bulletproof vest. Let me not say something crazy that is totally out of bounds because I'm emotional because of this shooting. Always make sure you have your equipment. Always make sure you have your vest, but you don't wait until you have backup. You go in there, you neutralize the threat, especially in schools, because schools, that's our most precious cargo. And unfortunately, some mentally ill people, some deranged people, and some straight downright evil people choose these soft targets as places that they can go to inflict the most emotional trauma on our society. Protect the children, ladies and gentlemen. And to the parents out there who are parents of troubled kids, keep an eye on your kids. Do the best you can for your kids. I'm not blaming you, because some people just can't be helped, I guess. I don't know. I'm not an expert in these things. But do your best to monitor your children. Make sure you know what they're doing online and in these spaces where, unfortunately, they can be manipulated and their thought process twisted in a way that sometimes can result in a wayward person being turned into a bad person. So, guys, like and subscribe on the channel. I love you guys with all my heart. I appreciate everything that you guys do for my channel. And I hope that I'm giving you something worthwhile from the channel. I see you on the next one. Strategic is out of here. Peace.